Hello! Today I'm going to show you how to make a really cute little hair bow. I've chosen a hot pink and a black. I've been wanting to use black in a bow for ages and I really like using black with a bright colour. So I just think that just really, I don't know, I just like the look of it. And I got these lovely rhinestone sheets. Is it going to focus? This one's actually you peel it off and it's already sticky, and this one is on like a clear backing and has actually iron on, but I haven't ironed it on. I've just used some clear thread and sewn it on for now, but you could just use your straighteners and just pop your straighteners on there to get that to stick. I've just cut a little strip off and I'm going to use it on the centre, and as you can see this has got the black, and I thought if I use that on the pink that will bring out all the colours of the ribbon. So that's what we're going to use on our centre. I've got a few clips here to use for while we're making it, and I've already cut all my lengths of ribbon. The longest piece here, this is for my base bow. This is a 4 cm wide ribbon, or 1.5 inch if you prefer to work in inches. And I have cut this piece to 33 centimeters in length, or 13 inches in length. And then we have 8 pieces, 4 in the hot pink and 4 in the black, and these are all cut the same length. Again, that's a 1.5 inch wide, 4 centimeter wide, and I've cut this to 9.5 centimeters, or almost 4 inches. And that's the same with the black, 1.5 inch wide, 4 centimeters wide, and that is also 9.5 centimeters. So there's 4 of each, all the same size, and then your base bow. So I'm just going to set these aside, and we'll begin with our base bow. So I'm just going to take a lighter, just heat seal this end just for now, even though I'm going to cut the ends in a minute. I just want to seal it while I'm working with it so we don't end up with frays. So taking your longer piece of ribbon, we're going to bring the top down, the bottom up, to make sort of like this S shape. And then what you can do is obviously you can then slide it, and we want to slide it so that we've got 2 centimeter overlay on each tail, because these are going to be your tails, or 2.5 centimeters actually. We'll do 2.5 centimeters. So yeah, that one's 2.5 centimeters. Need to bring it down a little bit more. Just 2.5 and 2.5, and then I'm just going to clip that into place like that, and then we're going to fold that in half and just mark that centre. I'm going to use a little bit of heat just to get a good crease in there, and that way we've got our guideline to make our stitches. So I've got a needle and some double strength thread with a knot in the end, and I'm just going to sew right through the centre. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Try not to get looped around. And then I can take these clips off, and then we're just going to pull this tight. 1, 2, 3, and then on the underside we'll just do a couple of stitches to seal that off. 1, 2, and then these tails, from this inner side we're going to cut round diagonally. I'd like to do them slightly rounded, so we're going to start from this corner and just curl the hand round like that, and then heat seal that off, and then the same with the opposite side. And then that is your base bow ready. Now for the main part of our bow, we're going to use 2 pink and 2 black on one side, and the other 2 pink and the other 2 black is for the other half. So first of all, we're going to heat seal all those edges. And then taking a pink, going to fold that in half lengthways, and I'm just going to use a clip to hold that fold in place. And then taking a black, you're going to do the same, fold that in half lengthways, and then we're going to pop these together. So lining them up and just using that clip to hold them together. Now with this black on the top side and these open flaps where I've folded it, so this side is obviously just folds and this side is the open flaps where you've brought it together. So we want to fold it this side where the open flaps are, and then I'm just going to flip it upside down because I find it easier to work that way. I'm going to remove this bottom clip, trying to keep these together as much as possible, and I'm going to bring that over and lay that over the top of the pink. I'll just show you that again. So I'm bringing that over, and then we are going to lay them all together and keeping them pinched together. I'm going to carefully remove that clip so that they're all in place, and then I'm just going to use my lighter and then we want to fold it in half. This is quite fiddly because you want to keep these together as best as you possibly can. But I'm going to use one of these clips with the teeth because that will hold it a little bit better, I think, than those flat ones. So I folded it and kept all of those ends together. And then, as you can see, you're left with this lovely sort of, I don't know what to call it, like a little entwined shape. Now we're going to do the same with the other pieces, but we're going to do them the opposite way. So this time we're going to fold it to the left side. So fold the pink over to the left side. And then we're going to fold the black over to the left side. And again, we're going to line them up. So now we've got our open flaps on the left side. We're going to, still with our black at the top, fold that to the left side now. And again, I'm going to flip it upside down because that's the way I prefer to work. And this time we're going to bring the left side over the right side. So I'm just going to remove that clip, keeping those pinched together. And I'm going to lay that over the top of the other side. I'm going to remove that clip, and I'm going to use one of my toothed clips. Just to pinch them all together. And then I'm just going to fold that inward again. As you can see, you've got your other half, so when you put them together, actually we can do it that way, we'll have the black on the inside. So when we put them together, you've got the black on the inside and then the pink coming out on the outside. So I'm going to take my needle and thread again. So taking a needle and thread, I want my black on the inside, so I'm going to use this petal first, this part first, and we're going to go through all of those layers like that. And then we're going to grab our next piece, again making sure the black is on the inside, keeping that pinched together while you remove that clip. Go through all of those layers and then bring those two together. Like that. Just hold them both together while we go through there a couple of times just to seal that off and hold it tight. I'm just using my desk to get that needle through all of those layers. And then we're just going to seal it off going in a couple of times. And then I'm just going to go through that loop to form a knot a couple of times. And then we can cut off that excess cotton. And just have a little play with your ribbon, and then as you can see, you've got your first half, your pretty little twisted loop bow. Now we're going to repeat those exact steps with our other 4 pieces of ribbon. So here we have both of our halves made. So now what we have to do is to join them together. So I've got my hot glue gun here, and I'm just going to pop some hot glue on the centre of that bow and pop those 2 halves together. And I'm just going to hold that in place for a few seconds to make sure that glue is set, like that. So this is what we've got now with the two pieces together. And now we can attach that to our base bow that we made earlier. So I'm going to pop a little bit of glue in the centre of my base bow. I don't think the hot glue gun's quite hot enough yet because the glue is a bit cloudy, look. I'm just going to line that up. Hold that down just to make sure that glue sets. I've only just turned the hot glue gun on. I should have given it a little bit more time, I think, but we should be okay. And then I'm using a double-pronged 45mm clip. You can use any clip you like, or you can pop it onto a hair bobble or a headband, whichever you prefer. I've cut a strip of ribbon around 11 centimetres long, centimetre wide, and I'm just going to use this to line my clip. Again, that is optional, but this is just a little something that I like to do so that you can't see the clip in certain angles when the little girl's wearing the bows. But sometimes when you're wearing the bows, you catch a glimpse of this metal side bit which you pinch. So I like to just line mine for that reason, just so you can't see it. And then I'm just going to pop some glue on my clip and attach it to the underside of my base bow. I'm just making sure that they're straight, because it's hard to tell with this sort of pinwheel style bow. So I'm using the middle of this layer as a guide to make sure that my clip is on there straight. And then we have our lovely rhinestone centre that I made earlier. Like I said, I just cut a strip from my roll of rhinestones, and I've sewn mine on with some clear thread, but that is actually iron-on. I could have got my straighteners out, but I just whipped the thread out and done it that way. So I'm going to pop some hot glue on the back of there, and I'm going to line that up in the centre. And then on this underside, try not to get any of the bow stuck in. I'm going to trim off these excess ends, which I don't need. Heat seal that raw edge. And then we're going to wrap that under our clip. Sorry, I keep coming off camera, don't I? It's a habit. String glue. I don't want to catch any of that ribbon, so I'm just moving that out of the way. A little bit of ribbon fray there, so I'll just melt that down. And then again, I'm just going to shape my bow. And there you have your finished hair bow. I really love the black with the hot pink, and I also love black with gold, and there are quite a few colours that just work really well together, and this is just one of them. I just love how that looks. Navy and white is another one. I love navy and white together. What other colours do you guys like together? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see if I can make some bows with some really beautiful colour combinations. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you've got any questions, pop them into the comments below and I'll do my best to get back to you. Thank you for watching, guys. Bye bye.